It's Yu-Gi-Oh time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the Amakuni Stardust Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's. My favorite era of Yu-Gi-Oh! When it comes to the anime, 5D's is the best one. Don't fight me on it, you're gonna lose. And Stardust Dragon is one of the best boss monsters of the main character, that is Yusei Fudo. I say one of the best boss monsters in comparison to all the other ones, so very much iconic look, and this is the real deal. You can tell how huge this box is. Super detailed is what it's supposed to be, and we're gonna have a look at it right now. This figure really has some good size as expected, so let's have a look at the number. Stands at about almost 30 centimeters to the top of his horns and the back, which means we are going up to 12 inches, almost. And also the wingspan is about 27 centimeters, which means we would go up to 11 inches wide. Size comparisons. Here's Jolter, the SH Figure Arts Krillin, NECA Michelangelo, the Mega House Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is a different line, just to be sure. Mega House Red Eyes Black Dragon, and Darkseid. Let's get to the business. First and foremost, as you can tell, already the stand. I'm kind of afraid how wobbly this is. Not the biggest fan of it. But overall look in detail for the figure. The first thing that came to my, sprung to my mind when I saw this is, depending how you look at it under the lighting, it's gray. It's mostly gray and silver. And here we have, well, it's in the sleeve, so don't really see it that well. Let me take it out real quick. Just shiny cardboard. Well, I shouldn't have taken the ultimate rare. Take two, this time with a gold rare where you can actually see the figure, to see the character. I want to have this side by side because the main thing that I look at and I feel like, well, Stardust Dragon usually is white. There's some hints of blue, obviously, in the outfit, in the body, which this figure definitely has, but the main thing I'm not really sure about, is the color. Like, the silver looks good, it looks cool, but I don't think it's 100% accurate. But however, I also gotta say, depending on how it hits the light, it has a little bit of a different effect on it. And I'm just gonna take him off the base real quick. You got this weird little thing that's connected to his, put it in my hands. Now we're gonna make this a little bit different. I got the camera in hand and I'm gonna try to move around because keeping the figure in my hand, I'm really afraid that I'm gonna run into stuff and I'm gonna break something off. So starting off with the face sculpt, you got the eyes and the teeth in there. Also got a little bit of a tongue sticking out. Very nicely painted, and then we got our first somewhat of an issue. They tried to somewhat dry brush these parts of the figure. You can see it all throughout it. And there's just a little bit of black spots in it, which I'm not a fan of, and I don't really know why they did that. It doesn't look great, and like it's thicker in some parts than it is in others, like over here. On the right side you can tell they put a lot more on it than the left side, so I'm not really too much of a fan of that. It's just a questionable choice, like they should have just left it if they're not doing it properly. Then we're moving to the horns over here, which have like a darker gray style going on. It looks pretty good. And the neck, got some more blue on the side, the same thing. I'm not gonna point out the black spots on the blue every time, but they're out there and sometimes they stand out weirdly. Go back to the good stuff as we look at his chest. You do have the molded detail under there and just some see-through like purplish plastic that goes over it, which makes for an amazing look. I'm a big fan of that. You got some shiny boobies. Then for the chest area, the rest of the torso, it's very narrow and it's pretty thin. Especially considering then down going to the legs, like boy oh boy. Damn boy, he's thick! The legs are super muscly, and I got one of my first problems with the figure. The way it is connected over here, I don't get why they made it like that. You have this entire design which looks good, but this just it takes me a little bit out of it, and just overall I'm not the biggest fan of the base, how it's connected and how wobbly it is, but it is what it is, and I guess I have to deal with it. Back to the figure in hand, and let me touch these nice muscles. You got the knees and down to the big claws, have some more of the dark. I said I wasn't going to bring it out anymore, but it kind of really annoys me on this part. So we got the claws, which, watch out, it's fairly sharp also. It's a bit rubbery, so it doesn't break off. And it's like, it changes with this figure. There's like parts which are a lot more rubbery, and there's like parts which are completely sturdy and might break off. Not really sturdy, but hard plastic. Then we got the claws in the upper hands and the muscle work. Well, again, he's very thin when it comes to the arms. Got all of that. And on the other side over here, obviously trying to recreate the pose that you have on the card, which we had on here. Let me grab it real quick again. So obviously you got that pose, which is the idea. And then we are gonna focus also on the wings. Now I have a thing over here, which I don't know if it's like an issue, if it's supposed to be like that. It just looks weird. Like there seems to be something wrong with the plastic in the wing. And also when I'm turning it around in the back, you can tell even more, which is just like, is this damage or what happened here? Somebody let me know if you have this copy, if you have this figure. Also, you can see the line where the wing is assembled over here and also on the other side, which at the price point shouldn't be something that you can tell. Also the shoulders over here on this side and on that side. And stop wobbling so much, dude. Are you drunk or what? So yeah, that's the base problem. Got the wings, and I gotta give a big shout out to the wings because I freaking love the beautiful blue that goes on all throughout it. There's parts here and there with the silver mixed in, and then we got the claws on top again, which have the metallic look with the shading on it, just the same as we had for the hands and the feet. And this one is actually hard plastic and very, very, could be easy to break if you just kind of run into it or whatever. Same goes for the horns. I don't think I mentioned that, but this is also hard plastic. Be aware of that. And yeah, be very careful with it. As such, I'm trying. That's why I'm doing it like this. Anyway, we do have the back detail, which has some more black spots in it. Like this is like the only part which really has like bigger black spots. I mean, I have like small line work, but you got this one and also the tail, which has a beautiful curve and some more detail on it. You got the metal parts, like a claw thing, once more as you move down to the base, which has the symbol for synchro summoning, by the way. Anyway, you got the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I want to have this side by side, and as I mentioned beforehand, this is not the same line, so it's not really a fair comparison, and that's not really the idea of it. But for those of you who have the blue eyes or whatnot, if you want to know how they look side by side, this is it. Blue Eyes is grossly undersized compared to the Stardust Dragon, but it's also like a different thing. I like with the Blue Eyes, they try to make it look more realistic, but this is tit for tat, trying to recreate the card artwork, and it succeeds at doing so. Final thoughts for this Stardust Dragon. It's beautiful, and it's a absolutely 100% great recreation of the card. However, this guy comes at a price. I paid around 170 bucks for it, and then you add shipping, customs, whatever. You probably, definitely, I'd say, end up over 200 to paying for this beast. And as such, just like the small issues, like the weird shading, like the weird black wash that they did, which doesn't really stand out so much, so it's not the biggest issue, but I don't know why they did that. Kind of wobbly base, and like seeing some pieces of the figure where it's assembled. I know it's small issues, but when I'm paying like over 200 bucks for a figure, it might as well be pretty good like that. And also the weird thing that's going on in the wing, I don't really know. I'm still not sure what that's going on about. But anyway, I still recommend this one because overall it looks fantastic. It has a great size, a great just presence to it, also good heft. And for fans of 5D's, fans of Stardust Dragon, fans of Yusei Fudo, this is, I feel like, a must-have. So, yeah, I do recommend it, even though it's kind of expensive. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Stardust Dragon wants.